Hi guys, welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty, or welcome back. I'm Debbie if you don't know me. So for today's video, I'd put up a poll on my community tab asking you what you wanted to see me film with next. I've got a few ideas for some things with older palettes, but I'd also got the ColourPop Hocus Pocus 2 palette in. And without a doubt, that's what you wanted to see me film with next. So that's what we're going to do today. So I've got the palette here. Thank you so much to those of you that participated in the poll. It is great for me to see what you want me to film with. It saves me filming content that you don't want to see, and I just want to target things that you do want to see, as well as do things that I want to do as well. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into it. I'm going to show you the palette up close, we're going to create an eye look, and then I'll give you my first impressions. So let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so I picked up 2 items out of the collection, kind of regretting not getting the cat's ears. I didn't get those, but I got the palette and I got the highlighter. So this is the palette, beautiful packaging on it, it's just stunning. When you see it in a video, it just can't do it justice. Actually, they've done such a nice job with this. Like, the packaging feels quality. It's kind of like the witches are raised on the front. I love the black and green to it, just stunning. And then all the shade names are on the back. And then the inside of the palette, there's no mirror, you've just got another image in there, and then that's the shades on a very holographic shiny background, but hopefully you can see. Now I do have the Gather Round Sisters palette, which was the first ColourPop and Hocus Pocus collaboration. I don't have the second palette, the square kind of one with the square pans. Didn't really speak to me, that one, but do have this one. The only thing that I'm not so keen on is the fact that the first one and the second one are different sizes. I just like it when things are the same. Like, I don't know, it would have looked so nice just sitting together if they were the same size, but I mean, we're getting a lot more products, so I suppose that's good for some people, but I just think the smaller pans are better for me. But just as a reminder, that was the original palette. I really do love this one, mix of grungy greens and maroony tones, wine tones, and some neutrals in there. So it's absolutely nothing like the new one, because obviously we've got a lot more colour in the new one. So I think I'm a lot more excited for the new one, to be honest. I've also picked up the highlighter. Again, that comes in gorgeous outer packaging, and it's a Soul Body highlighter. It's in this like plasticky packaging that's impossible to open. That's reflecting really badly off my ring light. Love the cat on the front though. But everyone talks about these Soul Body highlights as having like a beachy kind of smell, you know, like sun cream smell, and they absolutely do. It's worth buying it just for the smell. It's so nice, it's gorgeous. Like a pineapple-y, sun creamy, coconutty, oh, it's just gorgeous. But you can't really see the shade of this one on camera. It's very difficult to show you, but it's kind of a goldy green shift in there, and it's super, super pretty. But we're not going to put that on until the end, because I'm going to use tapes with my look today, and it will take off some of my foundation. I'll need to touch that up, and then we'll go in with the highlight after I've done that. So let's get into the eye look then. I'm going to prime with the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot today, and then I'm going to do a look with purple and green, because what else can you do when you've got a palette that's all based around witches and it's got the sort of colours that's in this one. And I'm going to take the primer out quite wide, because we're going to do a very, very winged out look today. So I'm going to make sure I've got plenty of primer to lay those shadows down on. Now I don't have any of those fancy eyeshadow tapes, so good old sellotape will have to do the job. It's just such a boring purchase when there's more exciting things in makeup to buy. I've never got around to buying any. Okay, so tapes are on. So what I want to do is do one eye with green and one eye with purple, but then kind of make it cohesive by using the same orange shimmer on the inner part of my lids, I think. It could look crazy. I'm not going anywhere. I just wanted to use as many shades as I can from the palette. I do love the way it's all like designed in rows, that you could make a very simple monochromatic look from it without having to think what you're doing, but that wouldn't be any fun really for the video. So we're going to mix and match everything. So I'm going to start with the purple eye and go in with this shade here, which is called Observe. So I'm going to take Observe and pack that in my outer corner and all along this line where we've got the tape. It's taking a bit of building up, but that's okay. We are getting a bit of fallout, but the tape should take care of that anyway. I'm going to take this out quite a way and quite high up into my crease and to my, like this area, transition area I guess. I'm taking it way beyond my natural kind of line of my brows as well. I really want to pack that on so we get as much density as we can, much opacity. I'm doing that in a slanted kind of motion here. Then I want to take Observe through my crease as well, so taking that line that we've started here on the top here and bringing that across my crease. When I say across, I'm not angling it down, so just going to bring it across like towards my nose. And we're not really blending as such at the moment, we're just getting the shades laid down so we can see what we've got and where we're going with the shape for this look, but it's going to be a pretty dramatic look, as you can see. Okay, so that's the purple side, so I'm just going to repeat the same steps on the other eye, but I'm going to do that with green. So we're going to go in with Night of Sins, the green matte in the palette here. Okay, so that's the shape down for both eyes, so I'm just going to take off the tapes. So we have quite a sharp line, a nice shape now, and I'm going to leave that quite graphic underneath, but I'm going to blend above the shadow here with some shades from the palette. So for the purple side, we're going to blend with Havoc, and for the green side, we're going to blend with Spellbook. So I'm just taking Havoc above that purple shade, and I'm taking that pretty much to my brows. Just really want to get a nice faded blur just across this top area here, just as far as like it goes out towards my brows. And then the same thing on the green side, but as I say, we're using Spellbook to do it on that side. I just thought it would blend better with Spellbook. I'm not using very much of Spellbook, I just wanted just something lighter than the shadow to blend with it. Now I want to go for a bit more depth in these outer corners, so I'm going to bring the purple and the green down onto the lower lash line about halfway. So I'm just keeping that really close to my lashes so that I can join it here in the corner. I'm just using a really tiny precise pencil brush, the E30 from Sigma. I've gone about 2/3 of the way actually. And then the same thing on the green eye. Now I really want to get a bit more depth into the outer corners, so I'm going to use the black in the palette, the shade Till Midnight, and really pack that in the outer corner or outer V. I'm going to do that on both sides. So I'm not taking that out into the wings, I'm just doing that just on the lid here. Now I'm going to apply NYX Glitter Primer to the area where we've not got shadow currently. And I'm going to bring that glitter primer just a little bit forward of where I normally bring it, so right into this area here. And then on the purple side, I'm going to take Wicked Ways first of all, near to the purple matte shadow. I'm not putting too much of that on, but I just want a little bit of a transition to take me from the purple into the orange that I'm going to use. So I'm just tapping that sort of 50% on, 50% off of that shadow that is there. And then for the inner part here, we're going to use the orange, which is called Marvellous. And that's going everywhere. Now we haven't got a shadow, but we've laid down the glitter primer. So really packing that on so that we get a punch from that. Just use the other side of the brush. That's a beautiful orange metallic. Really, really pretty shade. Now for the green side, pretty much the same thing, but we're going to take a green shimmer close to the green matte and then the orange again. So then for the green side, we're going to go in with Brew Another Batch. That's going next to that green shadow. As I say, don't want too much of that, but just to give me that transition from the green into the orange. That's a beautiful shade as well. And then into the orange as we've done before. And just taking that right into the corner and this sort of little overly shape we've created here. So to sharpen things up now, just taking a really teeny eyeliner brush and I'm just going into that matte purple and just tracing around the front here, and the same on the green side as well. And then for the front part of the lower lash line here, I'm going to go in with 17th Century, this one here. I'm going to do that on both eyes, just to give us a little pop of brightness there on the front part of the eye and into the inner corner. Alright, next we're going to go in with the highlighter. That's a bit more transparent and wearable than I expected it to be, and it's so different from Laser Glazer by Kaleidos, so it's definitely worth having both if you've got both. But it's quite blinding in the right light actually. It's really pretty. Okay, that's the look to this point. Gonna hop off camera to put something in my waterline, mascara and a lip, and I'll be back with you to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. So I finished it off by using White Core by Linda Hallberg in my waterline, Melt Supernatural mascara, didn't use a wing liner because we've got a wing shape going on already, and then lips are Lunar Beauty's Wicked. And I love how it's come out. It's super dramatic. I don't have any cat ears, but I do have a fabulous fascinator that's a kind of witch's hat, so I thought I'll put that on. I think it goes very well with the look. So my thoughts then on the things that I've used today, so the highlighter and the palette. Well, the highlighter, I think it looks magical. It's really, really pretty. It's a green highlighter for people that are perhaps a little bit afraid of colourful highlighters, because it's not in your face green, but it's definitely got a magical green sort of transparent shine to it. It's really, really pretty. Yeah, I'm eager to try more of these Soul Body highlighters now. I've tried this one. It's like this cream to powder formula. Really, really special. Yeah, really happy with that. Glad I picked that up. The palette, I tried to use as many shades as I possibly could in the look, so hence why I've got one eye that's purple and one that's green, but I think it's worked really well because they're quite deep colours, and then we've got the cohesion with the orange. So the mattes had no problem at all with the purple. Took a little bit of building up, but it's not patchy at all. Looks really nice, I think. Nitrosin's the green went on really easily and is super, super opaque. The black Till Midnight didn't have any fallout. Always like a black that you can pack on with no fallout, so that was great. The blending shades I just used in a very minor way, so not much to say really about those. 17th Century I think would look great in a cool tone look in this row. Isn't that impactful on my lower lash line. I think I probably should have gone in with the highlighter there, actually. That could have looked good. The shimmers I've used today, Wicked Ways is like one of those more satiny shimmers. It would have been nice if that had as much kind of sparkle to it as the green ones. So Brew Another Batch and the orange one, Marvellous. If they'd all been equal, that would have been nice, I think, because yeah, you've definitely got more sort of glint to that green on that side of the eye than you do from the purple side. It's not to say it's bad in any way, I just would have preferred a bit more pizzazz from it. The green is absolutely beautiful. The orange is really impactful, and I don't have too many true orange shimmers like this, so yeah, really love that. And I love the colour story in this one. I like a palette that's got light to dark in it, so lots of different dimension. got some colours in it, but then has got those neutrals, because this is one that I'll reach for a lot, I think, for work, because I can do a pretty neutral base with it and then just pop a little bit of colour on the lower lash line, or just one of the shimmers on the lid, but with a bit more of a neutral base to the look. So I think I'll get a lot of use out of it from that point of view. That's what I do with my Nightmare Before Christmas palette, and I've used the hell out of that in the last year. One of my favourite palettes in my collection, because it's so versatile. So yeah, half colourful, half neutral palette is my jam, and really love how they've laid this one out with the easy to sort of follow rows. It just makes thinking of a look so easy, and it's just great to see ColourPop like stepping a little bit more out of their comfort zone and doing something that's bright and colourful. I know they always have to have the neutrals in there, but as I say, I don't really mind that. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing with this one, and can't wait to do a look with the orange matte. Actually, I'm loving orange at the moment, so yeah, maybe combining that with some of the neutrals could be fun. But I just wanted to showcase as many colours as possible and do a dramatic witchy look, which I think I've achieved. So hope you've enjoyed watching it, and maybe if you've got the palette, it's given you some inspiration of maybe a shape you can create or a colour combination you could put together. And you could absolutely just have kept it purple on both sides or green on both sides. I just did this as a bit of fun and just to try out as many shades as I possibly could. So that's all I've got time for you today. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, if you're new to my channel, I hope that you might consider subscribing before you go for lots more content like this, not just with all the new palettes. I do like to dip into older palettes in my collection. It's more about creating the looks and the colour combinations for me than necessarily buying all the new. I've only bought 8 palettes this year, and I'm only going to buy 10 in the whole year. So I'm not one of these channels that's super consumerism based, you know, I'm more about using what you have. So if that sounds good to you, love to have you. But other than that, guys, I hope you're keeping safe and well. Have a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.